Are you making dinner tonight? How about a 20-minute dinner? Does that sound like a good idea to you? Sounds like a fantastic idea to me. So this month we decided to make 4 20-minute dinners in our What's for Dinner column. And I can tell you they're pretty great, and if you follow the directions, you should be able to accomplish it in 20 minutes as promised. Today's 20-minute recipe, coconut-curried shrimp with couscous. Could not be easier. Start off by sauteing a sliced onion. You want to get that translucent. While your onions are sauteing, you can cut up 1 pound of tomatoes. These are Carey tomatoes. They're sort of halfway between a regular size tomato, like one of those stem tomatoes, and a cherry tomato. We really like them here. They have a tendency to taste really good even when it's not tomato season, so we feel like we can use them more year-round. You're gonna have these. The thing about these recipes, these 20-minute dinners, in order to accomplish anything in 20 minutes, you sort of have to go back and forth between the cooking at the stove and the prepping of the stuff. If you prep everything ahead of time, you may not be able to hit those numbers. So you'll find if you look at these recipes that we do that a little bit. Some of the instruction for prepping the ingredients is right there in the body of the recipe. One of the other ways that we accomplish things in 20 minutes is using high-impact ingredients like Thai curry paste that incorporates ginger and garlic and lemongrass and chilies and all of those things. High-quality versions of pastes like this help so much when you're trying to cut back on time because it cuts back on prepping of ingredients. Add 3 tablespoons of the red curry paste. As you can see, I'm measuring exactly. Give that a stir. Another high-impact ingredient is coconut milk, and I'm using a can of coconut milk for this recipe, as well as 1 cup of water. This is the liquid, which is now extremely flavorful. Add a teaspoon of salt. Give that a stir, and then to add additional liquid to your mixture, squeeze the tomato juice into the pan with the liquid. And then just drop them right in. Work with 2 hands. That's another way to save time. I remember once when I was working in one of my first restaurant jobs, I was prepping something, and the sous chef came up to me, and he yelled at me because I was only using 1 hand, and I can be going twice as fast if I use 2. So when you can, if you're trying to be fast, use 2 hands. You want to boil your mixture for about 3 minutes. That's to soften the tomatoes so that they cook a little bit. Then you add your couscous. It's 1 1/4 cups of couscous. Sprinkle that in. Give it a stir. Get all the couscous nicely covered. 2 cups of peas. These are frozen peas. I promised shrimp, right? 1 pound of large shrimp. You can get them peeled already, which is fantastic. A real time saver. Put them in a single layer. Don't pile them up. Should fit right on top. Smells good in here already, you guys. You want to bring this back to a boil, and you want to make sure that it's boiling in the center. Like I always say, it's not really boiling if it's not boiling in the center. There we go. Cover it. You want the shrimp to cook through, liquid to absorb. That should take 5 to 7 minutes. 5 to 7 minutes later, your dish should be done. The liquid should be absorbed, and the shrimp should be opaque. If you find that they're slightly less than opaque, you can turn the heat off and then just cover it for like another minute, and that's what I'm looking at. But I don't want it to cook anymore on the bottom because I can smell that it's getting kind of caramelized. I left my heat a little too high. So just let it sit for a sec, and then you have a delicious dinner. 20 minutes. I am not exaggerating, you guys. This dinner took 20 minutes. One last thing, a little bit of fresh basil can get sprinkled on top. If you have access to Thai basil, use that. I'm just using regular old waftable basil, one of my favorites. What do you say we try some of this? Spoon it up, babies. It's gonna be a little bit spicy. As it sits, it'll absorb more juice, so if you want it juicy, eat it right away. If you don't care, don't worry about it. It's a fantastic, look at that. It's like fresh, it's delicious, it's spicy. It takes 20 minutes, start to finish. So good, give it a try.